The story picks up after the chaos of the last film. Nika is locked away for the murders Chucky committed, her niece Alice has vanished into his control, and Tiffany, still living in Jennifer Tilly's body, sent the possessed doll to Andy Barkley. When the package arrived, Andy didn't hesitate, he shot Chucky on the spot. Years later, Andy is trying to live a normal life. While on a date, his dark past is uncovered online, unsettling his date enough to leave early. Back home, Andy opens a locked safe and reveals a horrifying secret: Chucky's severed head is still alive. The two trade insults, but Andy clearly has the upper hand now. He calmly takes a blowtorch and begins torturing the talking head, showing that this time, Andy is in control. Meanwhile, Nika is undergoing electroshock therapy in a mental hospital. After being declared criminally insane, doctors have convinced her that she, not Chucky, was responsible for her family's deaths. Her psychiatrist believes she's improving and transfers her to a lower security facility. There, Nika meets other patients, each struggling with their own disturbing issues. She starts group therapy, forms a connection with Malcolm, and slowly begins adjusting to life inside the institution. During one session, the doctor introduces a good guy doll, claiming it's harmless therapy equipment. Nika is visibly shaken but forces herself to believe it's just a toy. Another patient insists the doll spoke to her, while a grieving woman becomes emotionally attached to it, treating it like a child. Later, Tiffany unexpectedly visits Nika. She coldly reveals that Alice is dead, claiming she died of heartbreak. The news crushes Nika, who blames herself for everything that's happened. Before leaving, Tiffany gives Nika another good guy doll, supposedly one Alice once used, quietly setting the stage for what's to come. That night, one of the Chucky dolls, no one knows which, slips through the halls after stealing a scalpel. He encounters Angela, who assumes she's hallucinating. Chucky casually admits he's been calling her and chillingly promises she's next. When Chucky reaches Nika's room, he finds blood spreading across the floor. He realizes Nika, overwhelmed by guilt over Alice, tried to end her life using a broken wire from her wheelchair. Instead of letting her die, Chucky stitches her wound shut and leaves a cruel message written in blood: "Not so fast." By morning, Nika hears screaming. She discovers Angela dead, her wrist slit with the same wheelchair wire. Chucky chose someone else to die. At group therapy, Nika drops the pretense and insists Chucky murdered Angela. To prove the doll is harmless, the doctor melts the hand of the Chucky Tiffany gave Nika, warping it into a claw shape. When Nika demands the same test be done on the other doll, Madeline panics and runs off with it. Malcolm believes Nika and follows Madeline outside. From a window, Nika watches in horror as the doll moves on its own. A struggle sends Malcolm and the doll into an open grave. When Malcolm climbs out, something is wrong. He smiles coldly and begins calling himself Charles, hinting that Chucky has found a new host. Elsewhere, another Chucky springs to life and attacks Claire. She's restrained after panicking, left alone in her room. Moments later, the doll kills her in a brutal staged accident, making it clear this isn't just one Chucky anymore. Andy learns about the deaths and heads toward the institution, bringing along a modified doll of his own. On the way, Tiffany calls him, mocking him and revealing the truth: there isn't just one Chucky. There are three, working together. Dr. Foley wheels Nika into his office and places her under hypnosis. It quickly becomes clear this isn't the first time he's been using these sessions to manipulate her memories and shift blame onto her for the recent deaths. As he crosses a dangerous line, one of the Chuckies suddenly strikes him from behind with a bottle. Chucky mocks Foley's cruelty, unsure whether to punish him or applaud how twisted he is. He urges Nika to kill the doctor herself, but she refuses. Nika then experiences a disturbing nightmare where Alice taunts her and a massive Chucky attacks. When she wakes, Foley claims she assaulted him, further tightening his control. Soon after, Dr. Foley receives another good guy doll in the mail, the one with a military-style haircut. Around the same time, Andy arrives at the institution, deliberately getting himself committed after fighting the guards so he can get inside. Madeline appears to accept the truth about her past and agrees to bury the doll she's been treating like a baby. Concerned about her mental state, Foley places her under observation. That night, the buried doll claws its way out, sneaks into her room, and kills her, staging it to look like she took her own life. Dr. Foley returns to his office and finds Nika there, heavily sedated. He coldly explains that he plans to blame all the murders on her and profit from the story. Before he can continue, two Chuckies knock him out again. One of them reveals the truth: Chucky has mastered a new voodoo spell that lets him divide his soul between multiple bodies. He explains that he once possessed Alice and went on a killing spree in her body, until someone fought back and killed her, forcing his soul to retreat into the dolls. The two living Chuckies then awaken the third doll, forming a trio. When an orderly walks in, they kill him without hesitation. Outside the institution, Tiffany arrives, silently eliminating the guard at the gate. In her car sits another familiar doll, proof that the cult is now fully assembled. The Chuckies finally put their plan into motion. The smallest doll slips away first to clean up loose ends, eliminating witnesses and later killing Malcolm, revealing he was never truly possessed at all. Another Chucky transfers his soul into Nika's body. Once inside her, he gains full control, allowing her to stand and walk again. Free from the wheelchair, Nika, now possessed, turns on Dr. Foley and ends his manipulation for good. Elsewhere, Andy confronts the military-cut doll. A brutal struggle follows, but Andy overpowers it and reveals the truth: he secretly mailed the doll to the institution with a hidden weapon inside. Using it, Andy destroys the doll once and for all. As Andy regains his breath, he sees Nika standing in the doorway. She taunts him, claiming he doesn't have the strength to kill Chucky if it means sacrificing Nika's life. Andy proves her wrong, pulling the trigger, only to realize the gun is empty. Taking advantage of the moment, Nika locks Andy inside the padded cell, ensuring he'll be blamed for the massacre. With a weapon, a dead doll, and no witnesses, Andy is left as the perfect suspect. One Chucky remains behind to watch him. Nika, still possessed, calmly leaves the institution and joins Tiffany outside. The two reunite, sharing a twisted moment as they drive away together. In the back seat, the Tiffany doll suddenly laughs as well, hinting that Tiffany may have divided her soul too, or that another familiar spirit may still be trapped inside. In the post-credits scene, the front door of Andy's house slowly opens. The severed, scarred head of Chucky looks up, and suddenly reacts with shock, recognizing who has arrived. It's Kyle, Andy's long-lost foster sister. Without hesitation, she steps inside and begins torturing Chucky's living head, making it clear she knows exactly what he is, and how dangerous he's become. The moment ends on a note of dark hope, suggesting that Kyle may be the final resistance against the now thriving cult of Chucky. Thanks for watching. If you like our work, please like, share and subscribe our channel.